Today, we are going to be diving into the biggest trap that you are engaging in that is sabotaging your life. And this trap is the illusion of happiness and chasing happiness. So, I was a person who very much used to live my life always looking for the next good feeling. Every single thing that I did, every action I took, every person I surrounded myself with, it was all surrounded around the goal of feeling good. And now that doesn't necessarily seem like that would be a bad thing. And it doesn't seem like it would be something wrong because obviously we want to feel good and obviously we want our lives to have joy and excitement and fulfillment in it. But unfortunately, the way that I was living my life, and the way that so many people live their lives, they're more focused on feeling happy than they are on doing the things that actually cultivate and create real lifelong happiness. And this is what we are going to be diving into today. And more specifically, three things that you need to start doing now and today for you to actually have real happiness. So, we are going to get this started off with number one. Happiness is less about what you have and more about who you become. So, in 2020, I had gotten into this relationship right when the pandemic happened. And it was a really misaligned relationship in the aftermath. And I know that now. But when I had gotten into it, I was just so fixated on how good I felt and the opportunity that this relationship was going to have for my life. This relationship finally got me out of my parents' house. We had moved in together pretty early, unfortunately, because of situations that were happening. But we moved in together and everything seemed great. And we had gotten a dog together and we were looking into getting a house together. And from the outside looking in, it seemed like everything was great. It seemed like I was on top of the world. You know, we had my business that we were starting, and our podcast was booming, and we were onboarding people onto our team. And it looked like I had everything going for me. But behind the scenes, nobody actually knew that I was deeply, deeply miserable because I had spent that entire time focusing on making it look like I had everything, like I had all of the markers, right? I had gotten a new car. We were looking into getting a house. I had the relationship. I had the dog. I had the business. I had the success. I had what everybody thought happiness was supposed to be, but I was actually miserable. Why? Because none of it was real. It was all built on me chasing feelings rather than actually developing deep, meaningful skills. I was a deeply insecure girl who attracted a deeply insecure partner, and we had a really tragic relationship. We had gotten this dog, but this person wanted nothing to do with the dog, and I was trying to figure out, how do I work a full-time job and come home and work on my business and then train the dog and meet all of its needs? How do I show up for this business that I don't even think that I'm deserving of being here? I feel like an imposter all the time when my business partner is having to take the load from me. I was more focused on acquiring and getting rather than becoming. And this is a trap that you are probably facing too, where you're looking for some external thing. When you finally get the house, when you finally get the job, when you finally, can go on that trip or have that thing, then you'll be happy. If you focus on getting things to be happy, you're going to have the massive pitfall, like I did, of what it feels like when you realize, oh my God, this didn't make me happy at all. I'm still really unfulfilled. I'm still really miserable. and I still feel like life isn't worth living. And what most people do is then they look at the next thing. It's like, "Oh, okay, let me get that other thing. Oh, let me chase that new thing now. That's the thing that's actually going to make me happy. I thought it was this, but no, no, no. Actually, it's going to be this." We do that all the time. So, what I'm suggesting instead, and what the data actually shows, is instead of focusing on getting, what you do instead is you focus on becoming. You focus on developing skills like grit, like emotion regulation, like problem solving skills. You focus on developing these really deep core skills rather than focusing on buying the next new thing or getting into the next new relationship, because those skills will be with you your entire life. Those skills lead to confidence, and that confidence is what is going to lead to happiness and actually feeling good. This leads into number two. Happiness isn't about feeling good on the day to day, it's about how your life feels on the macro level. So instead of focusing on how do I feel today? Am I okay today? Chasing that feeling, we really want to look at our life holistically. So if you were to look at my life back then, and if you were to look at my life right now, my life back then looked a lot better, right? I didn't have as many responsibilities. I had the nice car, we had the house, we had the dog, we both had nice cars. We were both going out all the time. We had a massive group of friends. I seriously looked like I was living the freaking dream. You would have thought I was the happiest person ever, that I never struggled, that I never suffered. And if you actually look at my life today, I never leave my apartment. Like rarely, I do, but like I don't go out. I don't spend a lot of time with friends. At present, I am not in a relationship. I work 12 to 14 hours a day on top of having a dog and another dog and going to the gym. My life right now is actually really boring, and it's hard, and it's really, really heavy. I mean, I'm doing anywhere from 9 to 10 therapy sessions a day talking about trauma and hardship and pain and suffering all day, every day. And if you were to look at my life back then, and if you were to look at my life now, what would you probably think? You'd probably think that my life then was better. You'd probably think that I would be really unhappy today, because back then on the day to day, yeah, things felt good and I could make the day to day feel good. But the actual truth is that that was the worst time of my life. And right now, the struggle and the hardship and the determination, my day to day is the hardest it's ever been. But on the macro, my life is the best that it's ever been, because I'm actually doing things that matter now. My life is so full now. And not because of external things, not because of having a really nice, expensive car, and not because of having all of these external markers that people think bring you happiness, but because I'm becoming the type of person that I never dreamed I was going to be capable of being. I can handle more than I ever imagined. I'm more capable than I've ever been. The relationships that I do have are so much more meaningful and impactful and valuable than they ever were back then, because I'm not focusing today on feeling good. Now, I do allow myself to feel good, right? I eat foods that I like when I'm not on a diet. And I scroll through my phone sometimes and I watch TV shows that I enjoy, and I have friends that I'll see on occasion, but I'm not hyper focused on that. I'm not focused on how can I feel good. My intention is actually, what can I do that is fulfilling to me? My life right now, it feels better holistically than it ever has before, because on the day to day, it's hard, but I know that my life has meaning. I know that the work I do every single day, it matters. I'm changing people's lives. I get messages every day from people telling me, thank you for what you did for me or for what you're doing. My life has purpose. And on the macro, my life is the absolute best it's ever been, even though on the day to day it might be really hard and it might suck. So instead of focusing on feeling good on the day to day, ask yourself the question, what's going to bring real meaning into my life? What matters to me? What are my values? What do I really care about? And am I engaging in habits and hobbies and spending time with people and putting myself in environments that feed that, that challenge me to grow, like I had said at the first point? Like doing things that at the end of the day, yes, it might be hard, but you can say, I really got something from today and I was able to give to today. And even though it was hard, it mattered. It mattered so deeply. And this ties directly into the third thing, which is happiness is all in your head. The other day, I think it was last Sunday, I think. Um, it was Sunday. I had taken my dog Aries out in the morning. We had went for a walk. I had done stuff throughout the day and I brought him with me, and then I came home and I wanted to take him for like a really nice long walk. So I live close to a downtown area, and I was taking him for this walk, and I was really in my head. Like my thoughts were just all over the place because, again, I had a really hard week. I had a very busy week. I'm growing every week. I'm cultivating all of these skills. I'm doing all of these things. And it is really hard on the day to day. It's challenging and it's grueling sometimes. Like it's freaking brutal for me, waking up at 5 o'clock every single day, going to bed at 9 p.m., not really having any breaks in between, and doing that 6, 7 days a week. So I was just in my head and I'm listening to music, but like I can't get into it. And I'm walking my dog, and we walked down this, like on the, I don't know, it's like this bridge. And I'm walking him, and I look over and I see this homeless person. And in my area, there's a ton of homeless people, and it's really sad to see. But this person had their shoes taken off, and they had these really busted up sandals, and their clothes were completely tattered. And he had like this blanket, I think, that he had his head on. And he fell asleep holding a half open can of beans. And I don't know how the hell he opened it, but he opened this can of beans and the thing was half full. And he had it in his hand and he was sleeping. And I walked by him and I thought, I'm sitting here and everything in my life is by choice. Like I choose to do these hard things. I choose to live my life the way that I do. This didn't happen to me. I chose this. And I walk by this person and there's no way he chose that. Yeah, maybe he made some difficult decisions. Maybe he didn't make some of the smartest decisions, but I can choose to turn off my day and I can choose to not do the things that I'm doing. This person can't. This person, this is probably the only food that they're going to eat all week or all day. I don't know. I don't know what their circumstances are. But it was such a perspective shift. And my mood instantly changed after that because it was it was all in my head. The thoughts that I was having about myself were what was making me feel so unhappy. I was so focused on how bad things are for me. And I got this massive perspective shift of look at what your life could be. This isn't happening to you. Like, there's nothing wrong here. You are choosing a life that, yeah, is difficult, but you're going to get so much more from it. This person isn't choosing that. They can't just get up and radically change their life in a day. And now this isn't to or this isn't to like pain compare. This isn't to trauma compare. I'm not dismissing my experiences and I'm not dismissing my emotions, which is what a lot of people do. What I do instead is I acknowledge that I have my feelings and that it's okay that I feel what I feel. And also, it doesn't mean that I'm right. And it doesn't mean that my feelings are appropriate to the situation. It's okay for me to feel frustrated. It's okay for me to feel overwhelmed. But for me to feel like my life is hopeless, for me to feel depressed, it's it's inaccurate to the circumstances for me. Now, for you, happiness is what you tell yourself about yourself. Happiness is what you tell yourself about your life. And you could choose to be happy right now, just like I did in that moment. Again, it's a little different, right? I'm not saying don't feel your feelings. This isn't toxic positivity bullshit. This is real. This is cognitive behavioral therapy. This is observing the thoughts that you are having and asking yourself the question, is this thought serving me? Is there an alternative thought to this situation that might be better? Is there a more empowering thought that I can have in this moment that can bring me into the direction of where I want to go and to be the person that I want to be? If I wanted to be happy in this moment, could I? Happiness is a choice, and it is something that we can choose to do every single day. I mean, that homeless person could choose to be happy if he wanted to. Like, he could be happy as shit that he found food, right? It's not just about me having and him not. Everybody can choose to do this. And I understand easier said for some than for others, but if you have access to watching this video, you probably have the capacity to be able to do this. And if not, send me a DM and let's work together. I would absolutely love to be able to help you to have some of these more empowering thoughts and some of these more empowering beliefs. The truth is, chasing happiness for happiness' sake, it is a trap. Because the more you chase happiness, the more it eludes you. The more you chase these feelings, the harder and harder it is and it's going to be to keep them, because you can't keep a feeling, because life is inevitably going to happen. You know, the phrase shit happens, it's pretty valid. Life is going to happen. Challenge is going to happen. Difficult circumstance inevitably is going to happen. And if the quality of your life is based on happiness and feeling good all the time, you're going to feel as though your life is a mess. You're going to feel dysregulated. You're going to feel like you can't keep up. But if instead you watch this video and you decide to focus on who you become, to focusing on your life on the macro level, and recognizing that happiness is a choice about what you think and what you choose to pay attention to, you could radically change your life. And that is exactly what I did. Am I the happiest person on earth? No, because I'm not delusional. I'm not here thinking that I should be happy all the time, because I don't think that's adaptive. It's not adaptive, and the literature shows it. But what you can do instead is feel confident and competent and empowered within yourself to understand that I can handle whatever life throws my way because I've developed the skills. I can focus on the choices I'm making today that are going to make my entire life feel better. And I can choose to focus on the fact that I do have choices. I can choose what I think about. I can choose where my attention goes, and I can choose the outcomes within reason that I want. So here's what I want you to do. Here's your homework, if you so choose to take it. I want you to do these 3 things. Number 1, pick one habit or one skill that you are going to focus on developing this week, whether it's resilience, whether it's patience, whether it's, a new hobby that you want to start engaging in. Pick one thing that this week you are going to start practicing. Don't do it every single day. That's not how you build a skill, at least not in the beginning. Just focus on a couple of times a week cultivating or starting this new habit or this hobby or skill. Number 2, find something meaningful to start engaging in, whether it's, a passion project, or maybe it's finding a new job, or maybe it's, really putting extra time and effort into your relationship. Find something that's going to make your life feel so much more meaningful. That's going to make it feel worth it to get up every single day. It doesn't have to be a job. People think that that has to be your job. It doesn't. We can all have something for us. So, what would that be for you? What is something that you can start looking into that is going to make your life feel deeply, deeply meaningful? And number 3, this is going to feel fluffy frou-frou, but there's a lot of science behind this. Every single day, I want you to write down at least 3 things that you are grateful for. I don't care if it's the same 3 things every day, but write down 3 things for the next week that you are grateful for. I guarantee by the end of the week, if you do all 3 of these things, you are going to feel so much better about your life holistically. And maybe on the day to day, you will start to feel a little bit better. So put a comment down below. Let me know how these went. Let me know your thoughts on this video, and I will see you next time.